Hello, it's Brooke-Sidney here and welcome to my channel. I'm your favorite mindset and manifestation coach. And today I am talking about how to harness the power of I am to manifest anything that you want. And I hope you stay through the end because we're not just talking about I am affirmations. But before we get into it, I just want to remind you that there are two ways for you to work with me: one-on-one coaching and email coaching. That information is listed below, as well as two communities of like-minded individuals who are on this manifestation journey. So today I wanted to talk about a very powerful subject, and that is how to harness the power of I am to manifest the things that you want in life, whatever you desire. And I think that in our manifestation community, we have a lot of people talking about I am and affirmations, and that is great. But today I'm going to go a little bit deeper. So I invite you to listen in, post your questions later below, start this discussion, but also a little bit to suspend your disbelief, kind of have a beginner's mind, as they say. So what is I am? And I think that once we start from understanding kind of like the God principle or the God particle or the God consciousness that is everywhere all the time, as well as inside of us, then I think we might start to understand how powerful each and every one of us are. Now, each of us contains this I am that is outside, 5D, God, whatever that is for you, God for me, as well as a part of it is inside of me. That's why it is I am, right? We are part of the I am. And so even in the Bible, it references this. When Moses was asked to go tell Israel about God and to direct them, God asked Moses asked God, who am I telling sent me? And God says, he, she, God. It's hard to talk about it without pronouns, but God said, I am that I am. Tell them that I am hath sent you. I think this is like Exodus 3:14. So God self-defines God as I am. I am is this powerful creation energy. God is bigger than man, in all things, knows all things, everywhere, at the same time, right? But is nowhere. That makes sense? So even in the Neville's work, The Power of Awareness, there's a chapter called I Am. I'd love for you all to look that up. There's links below for that book. But even in this work, Neville makes sure to mention I am is a self-definition of God. It says, and I'll read it from you, I am is a self-definition of the absolute, the foundation on which everything rests. I am is the first cause substance, right? I am is the self-definition of God. So we know that I am is God. And we also know that I am is inside of us. We know that that is the creation. That is the cause principle. That's how things become manifest. Without the awareness of I am, we have kind of awareness of nothing. And I mean that both internal awareness as well as an external awareness of this great power that has caused all of this to come into being. And so when we think about I am, it's, to me, more powerful. We think about our God self. A lot of people talk about that. When we just remember that we are a part of the I am, that is our creation principle in the 4D. Our imagination is tapped into or is one with that creation, cause, substance, inner kingdom, kingdom within, you know, the multiple names. Our imagination is the fueling and the creation point for us. That's how we're able to manifest here. And it's a beautiful thing that's also in this chapter, the same chapter, and I'm going to read it to you because it talks about the interrelationship between I am and self-concept. And I'm going to break all of this down in 1 second. So it says later on, if man's concept of himself were different, everything in his world would be different. His concept of himself being what it is, everything in his world must be as it is. Thus, it is abundantly clear that there is only one I am, and you are that I am, right? It's like God is inside of us. God and I are one. I believe there is a great higher power, the 5D, but it is resting in us. It is acting through us. And while I am is infinite, you, by your concept of yourself, are displaying only a limited aspect of the infinite I am. All of us are displaying an aspect of the limited I am. That is why whatever we put with I am is so powerful, because it becomes coupled with, it becomes a formula for how we describe ourselves. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? It is the part and parcel to who we are and who we can become. If we cannot attach ourselves to the I am of whatever that is, then how can we ever be it? I know today we're getting a little bit philosophical, a little bit theological, if you will, but I really want you to understand the power of it. So when you think about I am, you must start to think about, number one, what you say about yourself. What you say about yourself, right? That is kind of what most people commonly think about as self-talk or inner conversations. So when we're sitting here trying to manifest an SP, if you're like, I am never loved, I am not loved, how can we manifest into a state or into our world something that we don't believe that we are? We have not attached it to ourselves. We have not made it so through our power of I am. And so when we're thinking about it, I would want you to really truly think about, one, what you're saying about yourself, and make sure that what you're saying about yourself is something that you want to be true about yourself. Number two, similarly, what we think about ourselves goes along with what we say about ourselves. So if you're out there speaking ill will about yourself, and then you're over here also thinking about yourself, something that is against your manifestation, that's opposing thought, that's an intrusive thought, we want to stop it right now. We want to reverse it. We want to flip-flop, use revision, start using this power of I am for our good. Think about yourself in a way that has your manifestation, that you are the person that is wealthy, is rich, is abundant. I am all of these things. And deliver yourself out of the concept of you, out of the version of you that doesn't have those things, that has attached their I am to lack, to poverty, to not having, to never having. And then I am also works very powerfully when we think about how the world gets to work for us. So when we're developing our affirmations or we're developing our self-concept, that's why it's so important that we want to think about the rules of the reality for us. I've talked about all the time how a lot of us set up rules that we really don't want happening in our universe, right? In our reality. We'll say things like, love never works out for me. No one ever stays. That's a good example. Or money is so hard to get. All of these are you deciding that you are creating a world that works that way for you. Those are your rules. So we want to make sure that we are harnessing our I am power to create rules for our reality, rules for our 3D, what we're perceiving, and then what we end up thinking, feeling, and being that are in alignment, that are congruent with the world that we want to create for ourselves, which is the wish fulfilled, which is the state of having whatever it is we desire, having that specific person, having that relationship, having that beautiful vacation, having that trip, having that home, having that purpose-filled job, whatever that is. We want to claim that, and I'll tag that video, claim it. We want to speak life to it. I'll also tag those videos so that we can truly embody it. We become that. And the last point that I want to say, which is really key, is that if you cannot say it or think it, you cannot be it. It says in this exact same chapter, everything depends upon its attitude towards itself. That which it will not affirm as true of itself cannot awaken in its world. That's another way of saying that until you can become that, until you can receive that, until you can think and be and feel the person, the state that has that, until you can put yourself into the wish fulfilled, how can you have it? You cannot. They're not in alignment. They're not congruent. You cannot be that which you think that you cannot. You're that powerful. You cannot speak against something that you want and then have it anyway. You're repelling it. You're actually speaking it towards you not having it. That's how powerful you are. Today's video was all about explaining to you the power of I am, the power of harnessing God, your God self, the God within, the power of knowing that whatever you attach to I am, you become that, especially when you think it and speak it consistently, as well as you create rules in your world in the way that things get to work out for you. That's the manifestation principle. Like, kind of once you decide and understand that this is how it works and you're going to work it, then it begins to work out for you because you become that. You are that. I am that. I hope this video has been helpful. Please know you can drop comments and questions below. This is an ongoing conversation that I'm excited to bring to this channel. But make sure you're subscribed, like this video, and turn that notification bell on because I drop videos daily. Talk to you tomorrow.